Buena Park is in the building. Buena Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?
Who poppin', we poppin', we major.
Welcome back, everybody. It's your host with the most, and you're on the show where everything goes. And we got a special guest in the building today, the young general, the young boss, my brother, man, Kaymen Cureton.
Man, appreciate you, man. Happy to be here. Blessed to be on the platform, man.
Hey, man, how's everything going, bro?
Everything is going good, man. Just got into a new school, been doing music and doing some business. So just kind of trying to expand and touch out in different areas right now.
Yeah, man. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on is, you got so many things going on. It seems like you just, if you ain't doing one thing, you're doing the other. And that's one thing I've always, told people close to us, people that, don't even know you. I'm like, hey man, I got a boy that's just grinding. He's gonna either make it in one thing or the other, or you know what, he might make it in everything he does. We didn't really play ball with each other, but going back, we built some type of relationship, and it's turned into a brotherhood, from that. And for myself, you've always been supportive of me. And then likewise, every step of the way, I always want to give back my love to you and make sure, that you feel that for me,
Very mutual, man.
So let's get into this, man. Like the first thing I always ask all my guests is, when did you start playing, not just football, but when did you start playing sports, man?
I started playing sports when I was 7 years old. 7, yeah. Started first with basketball. Basketball was my first love. I thought that I was gonna be a hoop star. Man, watching Kobe and them, going out, I'm like, man, Kobe, I want to be like Kobe. Moving towards, I want to say 9 years old, I got into football. My dad was very anti-football because I was very timid. So I was kind of soft. And then he was like, you're gonna play ball, bro, you're gonna have to get tough. So got tough at about 9 years old, started playing ball and really fell in love with it then.
So, I mean, that went straight into my second question for you was, how many sports did you play? But like, let me break down that question more, because a lot of people, this has been a big topic of discussion is, is just sticking to one sport a good idea, or is it just, being able to, at a young age, being able to see, use your body in different sports, the dynamics of every sport. Like, do you think it's a positive? Or what do you feel like?
I think you can take from each sport individually if you want to. I think it's parts of football that are applicable to everything. You know what I'm saying, in regards to agility, you can apply it to whatever you like. I think definitely venture out into different sports though, because it does help you. It helps you learn about in different settings, in different spaces, athletic spaces, and then even different mental spaces. You know what I'm saying? A basketball IQ is totally different from that of a football IQ and that of a baseball IQ and so on. So I think it's beneficial. You can apply it however, you want to, depending on your coaching and your personality.
Absolutely. I agree. The same thing. I think it's a valuable asset, to go from playing football to go playing basketball, like right after. And then, I'm not sure, did you ever play any baseball, or was that something
I started for a little bit, man, but it's a lot of pressure with my family, man. I got some top dog in there. So
we'll get it. Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit. We'll get into that a little bit later, But yeah, no, absolutely, man. Like that's a positive thing. So, when did you start to feel like football was that main focus? When did you start? You know what I mean? When did it start to get really in your bag?
I think I want to say really initially, I started to gain the confidence that I needed after my freshman year, because I feel like in high school, that's when it all really starts to count. You build your rapport with all the guys when you're young, you're playing youth football, but you separate yourself with the big dogs when you're 14. I got to play varsity, and that experience was, that was kind of my wake up call. And if I was going to perform, I had to be able to prepare a certain way. And me being able to play at that level kind of woke me up and said, okay, man, I can do this. And this is what I want to do. And I fell in love with it a lot more.
And, so you say you started as a freshman on VAR. So like what, who prepped you for that? Who put that, like, I know I want you to talk about them Colts days, I feel like that's a that's a from Southern California. You know who
Right.
those Colts are. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely Carson, man. You come from that. That's a line of just dudes that are champions, dudes that are in the league. Being from those dudes, I transitioned from playing for them when I was 10 years old and won 3 championships immediately. And that's like the standard over there. If you don't win, it's nothing. Like you didn't do nothing. They won't care if you were undefeated during the season. So won 3 championships there. Those guys, man, and then building a rapport with those guys. I still got lifelong friendships with those guys because we were 10, 11 years old doing 16 110s, 6 inches, just half gassers. No kids were conditioned like us. They weren't training like us. So there was a certain level of preparation. When we stepped on the field, we was like, come on, bro. We are almost NFL vets.
No, man, I remember it was. Were you playing? Were you still an off draft at the time, or were you at a?
Yeah.
There we go, man. That
Yeah.
Orange County Junior All-American football. You had, I mean, that was so many dogs. I'm a Cerrito Stiller gang. You know what I mean?
Come on,
That's
man.
we was in there battling with you guys.
Definitely.
It was either you had Carson Colts, you had the Inglewood Jets.
Facts.
I mean, and people forget about you either have the Mission Vale Cowboys,
Right, that'll come out of nowhere.
that come out of nowhere, just everybody's the biggest white boys you would ever see, and they just put it in on you guys. They don't
Right.
care if they drop 40, 50, they can.
They running a perfect shotgun offense too.
Perfect. And they play at Mission Vale High School too. So it was like you had to drive all the way down there, Yeah. That I think that's a valuable thing too, man. Well, there's a lot of people that played Jeff. I know it's very different nowadays,
Definitely.
you got like
It's a
all these different
lifestyle.
leagues, and I mean it kind of started with the Snoop League,
Sure.
and nothing negative towards that at all, man. There's so many ballers that played in there.
Sure.
But just going back, man, nothing beats some old school Jeff days, driving all over man, those are some good days, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. It's sliding everywhere. And then meeting new people, being able to connect with all those new dudes and then connecting with them through high school. Like it's dudes that go to, OLU or dudes that even move out of state that end up connecting. We played those dudes in against Carson. Hey, bro, I remember you beat us 48-0. Yeah, bro, I remember you was talented though, but we wasn't messing with the coach.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, man. I mean, but don't get it twisted. You guys were putting up a lot of 48-0s on a lot of people at every level. Don't matter if it was the midgets or the junior clinics teams. They will be running through everybody. And hey, that'd be always live games going against Carson. Hey, man, those are some of the, those I think directly prepped you, myself, a lot of players for that big spotlight in high school, in college, because you're playing big games at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. You know what I mean?
Right. You got dudes betting on games at that point. We was 12.
Yeah, absolutely.
Betting on games, you know what I'm saying? So, and it taught you, I think, playing for Carson, it taught you to be selfless. Every dude had to kind of play whatever he wasn't comfortable with. I mean, I played quarterback and nose guard, so I was going for nose.
That's two different variety of positions, I think.
Definitely. So, man, I just love to just play with those dudes, and you learn to play for people and with them and win, and that's what it teaches you, definitely.
Absolutely. So now we're in high school. We like you said, you started your freshman year of high school.
Sure.
Did you have the success that you thought like right off the bat, or was there still a learning curve?
Definitely a learning curve. I'm not gonna even lie and play like it wasn't. The first game I got in was against Loyola. They were a pretty talented team. I got to come in during some cleanup hours and just playing in that game. I felt comfortable, but again, it wasn't the optimal talent. So I had to get to where I needed to be. I played Wilson and I believe Compton, my first starts. Those are my first 2 starts, and I got 2 wins under my belt, and then I got to face a powerhouse in Poly. And where I thought I was at from a quarterback perspective and playing that Poly game, it definitely was a shift in my mindset. Like, okay, I'm not as ready as I think I am. I'm definitely in regards to being a complete quarterback and understanding football from a full perspective. There's a lot of things that I've seen defensively from those guys, mixtures of stunts and different twists up front and different coverages. I hadn't seen a cover 6 before ever. It was always cover 3, cover 4 and Pop Warner. So playing against dudes and then playing against dudes like Iman Marshall, Juju Smith at 14 years old, running a read option and getting banged by Juju on the sideline. That's definitely a wake-up call. So I had to get right.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a learning curve.
Yeah, man. I mean, and this was at Lakewood High, right? Correct. And I mean, that's the Morley, right? That's too
Yeah.
Morley. Yeah, that's a powerful, league right there. You seen dudes, no matter the record, you seen dudes every week. Big,
Yeah.
like big time players that are in the league today. Like you
Right.
said, Juju Smith-Schuster. A lot of people don't know Juju was banging back then. He was playing
He was
safe.
that
Yeah, he was
guy.
coming in and smacking people. That rugby style that would just come in and just lay people out. So you're at Lakewood. What was the next stop for you? I know you bounced around a little bit to find where you needed to be,
Definitely.
but you're always a leader wherever. So what happened when you left Lakewood?
Leaving Lakewood, if I'm being honest, was definitely tough just because of when you're so young and you're stepping into a leadership spot, and then being that it was kind of like open for me to be the guy the next coming year. It was kind of hard to lead that and develop with those guys and be practicing and kind of just being a leader in for the full sense of it, in every word, and then having to make the move because there was a lot of coaching changes, and I wasn't the particular guy, so I had to find a new home, and it was kind of late in the game, and I ended up finding a blessing in Los Angeles High, man, and getting there, and of course it's LA High, so everybody that I told I was going there, they like, bro, what are you talking about? What is a Los Angeles High? But it was a risk I was willing to take and one that I prayed on, and I'm a man of faith, so I figured it was very valuable to go somewhere and build my own legacy.
And so sophomore year, you get there, and like you said, LA High. Not a lot of people thought that was the right move, that was the right path for you, but you took the most of it. And I believe you guys won CIF that year, or you guys won what was everything that you guys ended up doing?
And so we well, the crazy thing was they played the following year, I think, with maybe 16 dudes. Um, Maybe played 5 games during the season, like officially, and then the rest of them they forfeited. And won basically due to forfeit. So they went 1 in whatever 9, basically, technically. But going over there, I think it was a culture shock for me coming from Lakewood, being where it's football heavy. That's football is endorsed. It's back. They got a huge backing, and then going to a situation where it was dudes that just wanted to play ball in that area. They just led a game. And they didn't have nothing. They didn't have no gear. Didn't have none of the other extremities and everything like that. They just wanted to play ball, and I think it humbled me to be around those dudes and be like, okay, cool. Like y'all love the game for what it is, not for what you can receive. Y'all just want to play ball. So I think that's what I was able to take from it, man, and really gather with those boys. And we ended up making a large connection because a lot of dudes that my coach thought that I didn't know were actually from the same city as me when we ended up coming to practice, come together, and we knew it was going to be hectic as soon as we all seen each other.
Yeah, man, that was. I remember seeing you. Shout out to Sports Recruits D1 Bound. I remember they were putting you on, man. I
D1
was
man.
seeing you. I mean, you got to play in the Coliseum, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For the championship, we played Monroe in the championship. We ended up going, I want to say, 8-2 during the season, and then finished, man, winning the championship. Man, finished with a 12-2 record. Man, it was a blessing just to win. And I mean, that school has been there since 1865. They used to film Soul Train at LA High. Man, the school, the school is like a pillar of the community. Man, it's super old, and just to bring that back. We watched people go from, our first game having 6 people in the stands, one of them including my mom. And so, and then to watch the transition, being at the Coliseum and having not only my family members, but the number of families that began to support because they seen, okay, my son or my nephew, whoever it is out there winning. And they were proud of that. And to see the alumni come and support us, it became a stamp. And then it became an expectation. We wanted to win from there. So
No, that's awesome, man. You're probably one of the quarterbacks that people are looking at. So what started to happen for the recruiting game? Like when did school start knocking on the door, start ringing the phone? What was going on there?
if I'm being honest, it didn't happen until completely after the season, almost right before my senior year. I had one offer from San Jose State after my sophomore year, and then it kind of just went stagnant. So from there, me being the kid that I am, all I needed was one shot, and I felt like if I had one opportunity, so I committed to them. And I think after the year, my junior year, I swear I got comfortable being a quarterback, and then I started to have a little bit of an expectancy because I was like, man, I'm out here throwing, I'm out here playing games, and my my resume speaks for itself, and I was playing against, especially that junior year, our strength of schedule at LA High, we ended up moving up, and then we started playing the powerhouses of the city section. We wanted to see those guys, and it was a lot of Twitter talk during the summer and all this. I came hang with the Crenshaws, I came hang with the Dorseys, and we went up there and we whooped them, and we and we did what we were supposed to do and handle business. And I thought from that point on, playing Hawkins, dudes like that. Hawkins had, multiple 5-star kids. Dudes standing at 6'3", 6'4", 6'2", shortest dude on their receiver core, maybe at 6'1". And that's like, that's unheard of in the city sector. And I think that's where, for me, I wanted to be, kind of, in a sense, awarded for that. These are the guys that y'all offering. They can't hang with me when I'm out there. You know what I'm saying? It's a separation. It's supposed to be a competition in every right. So I think it humbled me definitely again. It added a hunger to what I did, especially me losing the championship that year, because I felt like that was the reason why I didn't receive the immediate offers, because I didn't do my job in stamping myself and creating opportunities for myself. But it definitely came back around during that spring when we started training. And I remember I started off, I got 3 in one day, and it was a blessing. I just started crying, man, just because I knew it was finally there, and something that I could be proud of to move forward.
Yeah, man, that's really like for the players I've talked to that had a really big active recruiting, camp. It was always something that, like, life-changing experiences, like there's a lot of kids that they really, football was a way out for them, was a path for them. And to continue to go on and play at that next level for a player like you who still has aspirations of playing at the biggest level, that's just step one of a whole journey. And it's not really step one, because step one can be all trace all the way back to your childhood. But
Right.
that's a huge step that you had to take, had to accomplish. So let's go into a little entertainment. We're gonna switch it up right now. We'll start everything in college, and we'll start talking about what you got going on right now. But I want to show a little bit of your side. I want to put you on the spot. I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. We'll go into details on them. All right. You
Okay.
can pick one or the other, but let everybody know why you're choosing that. All right.
Okay,
So the
for
first
sure.
question I got, all right, this is a tough one, because I was thinking about it last night. I was like, man, I wonder which one I would pick. And the first
Right.
question was, which is your favorite Friday movie?
Wow. That's tough.
This
Now
one
that
is
I'm sitting
tough.
there, I would probably have to go with the Christmas one.
Friday After Next. That's right.
Yeah, well, after the next one, man. Mike Epps, man, you talking about a dude that's just in off the rip, bro, just ad-libbing and creating just memorable moments. That dude is hilarious. Like, he's a classic. So definitely that Friday if I had to choose one, for sure.
That's a solid pick right there. Top flight security of the world,
For
Craig.
sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
All right, next question. This is an interesting one. This will kind of lead into what we got later on. Is what's your dream 3-day music festival headliners? So dead or alive, you gotta pick a Friday night show, a Saturday night show, and a Sunday night show.
Man, I think Friday, I'm gonna hit him with probably Cole.
Okay.
Friday, I'm gonna go Cole first and get him out the way. Then that Saturday, just to keep him enthused, I might hit him with a Kendrick.
Okay. You can go Cole, Kendrick.
Yeah, and then that third day, if it's dead or alive, I'm definitely going Pop.
Oh, I love that. I mean, where's this gonna be? This West Coast is gonna be, where's your venue? Where are we having this show at?
I'll probably put it out there in Palm Springs, so it's where everybody can enjoy it. It's hot, but it's a festival type of vibe. I'm still creating that nice vibe. I want everybody to enjoy that. That's gonna be
That's smooth right there. You can't go wrong with those 3. You got Convoy World on Friday. You got King Kendrick on Saturday, and then you got the legend Tupac. That's just, you don't got to say much after that.
right.
You don't. I mean, that'll be, and then those 3 headliners, and you could throw on anybody below the card, and there
Exactly.
just be an addition to it. You can't have one there's no negative after that.
For sure.
So last question. You know, we got a lot of talk about aliens today. You know, are they real? You know, that's been the topic of conversation. But we're gonna pick one. All right, we're gonna
Okay.
say, you know, KC, if you had to live, try to survive, which one would you pick? Would you pick a zombie apocalypse or would you pick an alien invasion?
Wow. I'm going zombie apocalypse just because I feel like, I done studied a lot of The Walking Dead. So I think I know how to maneuver through that, man. I watched The Walking Dead, man. I feel like I can take a little bit from Rick and all them and learn how to maneuver and then apply my own leadership skills. And me and my boys, we ain't no punks, so we'll get to it and protect our people. So
Take a couple zombies out on the way, you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, that's K. That's K.
All right, man. That's a good that's probably what I would have went with as well. You know, aliens come in, you don't know what they got. They
Yeah,
coming
the
in,
aliens.
yeah, it might be a wrap very quick. You know, at least a zombie, you got a shot, you know, unless they're like some
Exactly.
that World War Z zombies where they running full speed, running them 4.40s, like, yeah, you know what? Still, but you know, you
Right.
still have a better shot than, you know, somebody that could just zap you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. The aliens too technologically savvy. I'm not really messing with them. They too
Any big, all right, we'll go with a little extra question. Any big, or what's your favorite either zombie movie or alien movie?
zombie movie. Mm. If I'm being honest, I ain't really watched a lot of zombie movies. I grew up watching a lot of mob movies. So.
Hey, you see it is in the back.
Look,
Okay, you
this
know
is
what
why,
I mean?
this is
All right,
why
since
we're
you
here.
yeah, all right, you know what I mean? Did you play any what's your choice of video game?
Choice of video game. I'm definitely a Madden dude. I'm a Madden dude, 2K dude, but really anything with a storyline, like Mafia 3 is fire. I can go for Mafia, Grand Theft Auto, any of the Saints Rows, anything with a storyline and some tragedy where you got to work through something. I'm messing with that.
No, that's all right. You know what I mean? It's you gotta whoever don't run the sticks on Madden, man, you gotta if you an athlete, you gotta re especially if you play football and you don't want to play Madden. There's something is wrong with you. You know
Yeah,
what
I'm
I mean?
looking at you funny. Like, why you don't want to play Madden?
Like even if you lose, even if you ain't good at Madden, is you still
Exactly.
should at least try to play it. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you. Just the competitor in you should want to get on there.
No matter
That's
who it is, I'll be getting blown out. I'm still trying to come back. Oh,
right.
that's the game's over. No, it's not. No
No, it's
matter.
not.
I'm gonna come back.
I'm not getting off either.
Yeah. But all
Fact.
right, then we're gonna take a quick break. And when we come back, we're gonna hit up college and we're gonna hit up everything that my boy Kaymen has going on in his rap game, his clothing game, and man, this boy is a business. He's not a business man. He's a business man. There we go. All right, then
That's
everybody, we'll be right back. Use promo code Sideline10 to receive 10% off all of your graphic design needs, logos, pictures, business cards, anything that you need. Contact Matthew Cifuentes at Matt2Siffy. Welcome back to Centerlocked Show with your host, Mark Vargas. I'm right here with my brother, Kaymen Cureton, and we were just talking about everything in the youth game of playing football to his high school days and how, you know, he's going to try to live through a zombie apocalypse over an alien invasion. So now we're going to go back into the college. I know a lot of people are tuning in, teammates of you, former teammates, all that. And you know, they've shown nothing but love leading up into this episode. So let's give them some good info, some good insight on everything KC right now. So Nevada came around about what time?
I got Nevada after going into my senior year. It was a different coach though then, so I kind of got that offer stripped and then re-offered because it was a blessing. My high school coach that I played for at Los Angeles High ended up getting a job at Nevada, and he was like, "Bro, if you need a home, you know where to come." So it was a blessing in disguise, man, because definitely on signing day, if I'm being honest. I didn't tell anybody this, but I was a very heavy LSU dude. And I wanted to be one of the first dudes to go out west from out here, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't recruit out here. I wanted to kind of stamp that and move out that way. And some things changed on signing day for me very fast with them. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of had to shuffle my cards wherever they lay, you know what I'm saying? And my coach was still around, and it was a blessing in disguise. So that's where I ended up signing to. And because it was the most comfortable, and then I along with that, I was able to get my boy to come with me. So that's
No,
what
I mean, it happens to a lot of people. You know, you going in with a certain mindset. I know with me, when I was around my signing day, I had, I kind of had the decision already made, but you even start to second guess it. You even start to feel if it's the right decision, But at the end of the day, like you said, you had the ability to go with a former coach that's, a mentor, and you got to bring your boy. And that was, very similar to me. I had my two brothers with me.
facts.
We're gonna take that journey, but that's just part of the game. That's that, and a lot of people, it's you know what it is now that you're in it. You live that life.
For sure.
It's now. Hey, I mean nowadays we'll get into that a little bit about the whole new NCAA name, image, and likeness rules, but
Definitely.
it was really a business. It's really a
Sure.
business that a lot of people think, oh, the NFL is a business. The NCAA is just what do they call it? Amateur league. And nah, it ain't like that.
Nah, these
Not
dudes,
at all.
this is a full-time business.
So when you got to Nevada, what was it like for you? What, challenges, what, the pros and cons of, being on campus?
Definitely, I think one of the pros was that having a coach that you already played for, it's a natural kind of feel, natural comfort there. Um, and then I think the other one was coming into a team that didn't really have its own identity. I think that was kind of a second nature thing to me. I existed in that my sophomore year at 15. So to see it in the locker room at that level, it was definitely, I wouldn't say it was shocking, but it was more surprising because you would think that, these grown men in here. You would think it would move a certain way. And to watch, when you're losing and that's the norm, it's definitely a different thing. It's definitely a culture shock for everybody, especially dudes coming from winning areas, dudes coming from losing areas. And you got to get those mindsets and the people to work together and really commit to one thing and one movement, and that's just victory alone. So that was one of I think the cons was that too. It took a while for us to mesh, for like on a genuine standpoint, to where we really started to love each other and play ball for each other. I think that was the biggest con, but we got past that, and it worked. It worked in our favor for sure.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Like that's the biggest thing about anywhere you go, at any level is that brotherhood, that bond that you guys have to build.
Sure.
And it does take time some places, it doesn't, like you said, there's people that, won 30 games in high school over the years, and there's some dudes that maybe won 2-3 games in high school.
Right.
And to make that adjustment from age, not being from the same area too, you got, especially in Nevada, you got kids from Utah, kids from
Every
Colorado, all
right.
over. And it does take time to mesh. And you know any any other thing from Nevada before we talk the transfer port, anything you want to touch on, you want people to know?
Like it's that team is a family, man. Those dudes I got lifelong brothers there, man, just because of everything that we went through. And then they were welcoming enough to allow me to lead in certain aspects, even though, you know what I'm saying, it didn't always relate on the field, you know what I'm saying, because it's only one guy that can play. Even with me transitioning to safety and playing a little bit of special teams, I was still able to be the vocal leader. I was still able to be the guy that prayed for our team. I was still able to be the guy that led by example. And those guys respected me for my level of work ethic and my level of resilience. And I did the same for those who were on the same journey as me. To do is whether you were on the field or not, it was we established a culture of respect and love, and that's why I think that they're able to flourish so much now is because of the culture that we established there, man. So Nevada is a wonderful team, and they're gonna have a whole lot of draft picks this year. My brother Bradell Robbins about to get drafted, was also the CEO of Take Money. So you know what I'm saying. Carson Strong, that's a dude that I love. The quarterback, man, is amazing talent. Romeo Dubs, Toa, there's so many dudes to name, man. It's just a lot of number of dudes that I love and that I appreciate and that are going to be successful because that culture has been established.
Yeah, man, that's awesome right there. Shout out to Nevada. I know they're about to start summer camp and all that now. Hey, you guys have a great year this year. Ball out. Still in the Mountain West, right? That's what they.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Yes.
go try to win this Mountain West. Get a ship.
Yeah.
Get ready for another bowl game.
Yes.
So let's. We're transitioning into a very very hot topic. The transfer NCAA transfer portal. You know, let's be honest. You probably didn't want to see yourself in that situation, but you found yourself there. What were the things that were helping you get through it, helping you see through a lot of the cloudiness of not knowing where you're going to play?
I think if I'm being honest, I think moving away from it and then having the COVID year, I actually took a break from school, just to kind of regather myself and then actually see, what, that I still have a love for this because I don't want to commit to something and just be going through the motions. Because it takes a toll on you when you ain't seen the field in the light that you wanted to, or when you set your own expectations and you don't reach them. So I had to take a step back and regather and reassess if this is what I really wanted to do. And then I look at myself in the mirror and I ask myself, I think a lot of dudes before they enter the portal, they make so many excuses for themselves. They tell themselves what the coaches weren't doing or what wasn't happening for them. You know what I'm saying? And in certain situations, that's absolutely true, but not in all of them. You know what I'm saying? And I took a step back and asked myself, what did you do wrong? On top of that, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't eating as healthy as I should have been. I wasn't committed as much to the intricacies of the study. I would get certain things down and leave it at that. And I kind of had to take this month. I took maybe about 6 months, man, to myself since December. And I lost 28 pounds. I was going with my quarterback coach, Coach Danny, studying film, making sure that if I can get on the board in front of anybody, that it would be an NFL caliber of work on the board. Making sure that my fitness was at its optimal. If I want to lead a team, I got to be the best conditioned dude on the team. So I was running, testing my 40, doing things of that nature. Then I had to really regroup and reassess and better myself. And I figured that whatever opportunity came, I was going to set the stage there. I didn't care what it was, where it was at. Whatever I was going to be blessed with, I was going to take it full advantage of and go win because I feel like now it's my time. I've seen it all. I've learned, been through all the mistakes. Ain't no more excuses. It's just time to get it done.
It's just time to put that work, that work in. That, or not even just put that work in. I mean, you put all the work in, but now it's time for all that to pay off. And
Absolutely.
part of that payoff is, your new home. I believe, I don't know if I butcher it, anything like that. You correct me on the spot. Is it Montana State University Northern?
Yes, sir.
All right, now let's talk on them. Let's see when did they come around? What was the whole process with everything for them?
If I'm being honest with you, bro, I think I was at month 6, early June, and I was kind of discouraged because I felt like I had gotten to the point of, to where I was down in my weight. I looked the best that I could. I had been having output, having conversations, and it seemed like they were kind of just null and void. Coaches, they hit you, hey, send me your stuff. And, it was here one ear out the other. So I was kind of waiting for an opportunity. And, my girl, she was with me through the whole thing. And thankful enough for her, she had a balance. She was like, hey, man, don't quit now. You've been doing this for a while. You got to keep praying on it. The same day she tells me that, I get a call from Coach Mix from Montana State Northern, man. And he calls me. I was like, dude, I want to offer you right now. And he ends up calling me. He said, I'm going to call you back in 5 minutes. I guess he goes to tell Coach Rowland. He was like, oh, you know Kaymen? He was like, oh, I know Kaymen. I offered Kaymen in high school. And Coach Rowland calls me, and I'm like, man, Coach, it's crazy how life come back full circle. He was like, man, and I want you to play for me. And I was like, Coach, and I want to play for you. So we just made it happen.
That's awesome. And that's the big part of that is how somebody that offered you at a different school, a few years back, came
Right.
around this time, offered you. And it's a big saying. You never want to be, and this is for all the young guys out there in the recruiting game, in the recruiting, the NCAA transfer portal. You never want to big time anybody because, there's always, so many different coaching changes every year that, somebody that might be here will be somewhere in the next year or the year after. And if they like you, then they have to, if you leave them with nothing but positive things, they will remember that. And that was one thing I always tell everybody is, hey, it don't matter if you ain't going to go to that school, be respectful, take that offer, tell them how grateful, because at the end of the day, that's
Yeah,
a huge thing. That's a
have-
huge thing for somebody that they're investing in you, and you want to show that respect. And, in your case, from the respect and everything that you showed, was it your sophomore year in high school?
so I was 15 years old
At
to
15
17.
years old, is helping you out today and helping you to continue on your journey of the sport you love so much. That's when you break it down like that, it's, it shows you, man. It just cleared facts right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
So we're gonna be going into this year. What are some goals of yours that you have, or what are some things you want to accomplish this year?
Definitely just to win all the games. That's the biggest thing for me, and to prepare, and to stay as healthy as possible as well, as long as well as being a leader and actually making the guys around me better. If I can't help to make the dudes around me that are at that school, the school that I'm at now, they're a family, and I want to be a part of their family, and me being able to mesh with them also comes with me being respectful of the guys that have been there before me and the work that they put in, and leading with them and helping them win. That's what I want to do. That's the biggest goal, and I feel like everything else will take care of itself, in regards to me marketing myself and doing other things. Because when you win games, it's kind of you damn near undeniable. So if I win every game, you know what I'm saying, to put up the statistics and show the level of efficiency, that's what I want to do. So win every game. I think throw for 3,000 yards, rush for 1,000. I want to throw for 30 tubs and probably run for 10. Those are the goals.
That's those numbers right there will, if somebody like you who puts that work in, you got to put that out on paper, because you're working towards that every day. And you know just from this, I've always loved how you shown professionalism. Like you carry yourself a certain way. And you know this whole interview so far, I've just seen nothing but it. And it's something that I do feel like a lot of kids can, maybe it's one thing not everybody has in them. It's it is something you do have to learn, but how important is it? Because that's one thing about this show. I want to help encourage the younger generations, or even people older, same age. Like, if there's able something they can pick from this episode. One of the things I loved about you, man, is just the way you carry yourself, man. Like, when I hear you talk, bro, like, it's not, not trying to sound cliche or anything. I hear like a LeBron. I hear like, like just a team leader that just is all about his team, all about not just yourself in a selfless way, you know what I mean, selfish way, but like you're gonna do everything yourself to prepare to help your team. You know what I mean? So like, how do you find that within yourself?
Um, if I'm being honest with you, I think it took a while for me to gain it. I think when I was younger, I was always put in a leadership position just because I played quarterback, but I never wanted it to be just that, just because, okay, well, you're assigned to it because that's the position you're in. I think that it led to really understanding, to be a leader of men is one of the hardest things in the world. I mean, it's a lot of bravado, it's a lot of ego in a way, and I think you have to learn yourself before you're willing to, be open and be vulnerable. Because leadership is a level of vulnerability. It's a level of weakness, it's a level of exposure, and it's a level of strength. And I think that you kind of just have to be willing to be comfortable enough within yourself to lead your way, and be comfortable enough with the guys and learn everybody. Be willing to learn other people. Be accepting of different phases. People come from different walks of life. Everybody's not going to receive the same message the same way. You could probably yell at one of your boys, and somebody else may take that personally. So you got to be able to play chameleon. You got to be versatile in every room and be able to speak to everybody from all walks of life. And I think I learned that more so from my parents. They put me in positions to talk. I've been talking to adults since I was like 6 years old. All my cousins are like 12 years older than me. So, you know what I'm saying? I kind of learned that real early, just to be a spokesperson for myself, represent myself. I want to separate myself. You got to be willing to do something, speak out loud, and be the guy in the room, and have an energy about you.
Man, that's perfect right there, man. That's if you got youngins, whatever you guys, whoever's tapping into this, that's a big piece of advice that if you can take from the show, please do. But we're gonna transition, so everybody make sure we'll be tuning in this year to everything you got going on the field. I'll post updates all year long and make sure everybody's following. But we're gonna transition into, what we got going on today, right now, and I've been a big fan of it. Is this rap game, man? Where did this come from? Like, man, you got bars. You got. It's not even that the bars. It's just like you got your own flow. You got your own style, and that's something that I think that is huge.
Yeah. Grew up in a music household. My mom's a singer. My dad's a producer. So it wasn't too far fetched for me. I think with me, I wanted to be comfortable enough, like you said, to come into a light to where it was my own stuff. I see a lot of people, that are trying to get into the game right now, and they see somebody and they're so heavily influenced that they begin to emulate them. You got to realize that energy and that aura is already out there. That's why that person is successful, because they provided it on a platform, and it kind of got the most attention first. So I think my thing is that I grew up around real lyricists. I grew up around ciphers, continuous bars back to back. And then on top of that, my mom is a singer. So I create a balance of, I think, both, and I want to make those mesh well, because I think just music, man, it has such an effect on people. You see people from all walks of life connect just because of the music. It's people that you wouldn't even think love Rod Wave. You know what I'm saying? And people that love Beyonce, you go to a concert, it's different colors, different cultures, different ethnicities. Like, it's just, man, it's so beautiful to see. Music is very powerful. So I think I got into it kind of last year or this year really seriously, and wanted to start doing the output, man, just because I felt like I didn't want to pigeonhole myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely a football player, but you know what I'm saying? The code of language is to address a man as a full entity. You know what I'm saying? You're addressing by his name. So if I want to be whatever I want to be, I'm gonna do it full fledged. And that's where the rap came from, man. It's definitely not a hobby. It's something that I really love and I want to do. So.
And you could tell, man, the whole production, everything about it, is something you can tell. Like, it's the same way you carry yourself in football. Like, you're gonna be the first man in, the last man out. You can definitely tell that's something that you're taking into this rap game. But quick question: if you had to pick a comparison, like, or a counterpart, what rapper would you say is like your biggest influence, or that you see yourself, in?
Wow, that's pretty tough. I would say um, Nip from a cultural sense, just because of how impactful he was, and the speaker that he is, the mind that he is. I think that sometimes you can apply the music, and if you're really listening to it, you know what I'm saying, you can take it and apply it to different aspects of your life. You know what I'm saying? Even though he comes from a background that's he's of the street, but he's not, you know what I'm saying? He's from the street, but he's not of it. You know what I'm saying? And you see that expansion. I think that's the same thing in my music, is that, me and him got a similar background, but I'm not about to fully embrace that, you know what I'm saying, in that capacity, because it's more life out here, you know what I'm saying? And we see too many people take it from the music, and music is energy. So whatever you put out, you know what I'm saying, you got people that's going to emulate that, and they're going to take from you. So I want to put out the most positive stuff and make sure that people know, this is motivation music and it's love.
I mean, and go leading into the next question or the next little topic we got. I mean, just like Nip, the entrepreneurship, the generational wealth, the all that stuff that Nip was talking about and trying to have people, really kind of buy in, was the not just clothing, but the aspect of owning your own, creating your own. So we'll go into Take Money, man. Like, what's up with Take Money?
Take Money, man, is definitely a venture that we started when we was like 16. My brother Burdell Robbins is the actual CEO. I'm just the assistant director. It started off as a saying. It was playful. It was actually associated with football. You know what I'm saying? That came from a defensive standpoint. Them dudes was catching interceptions, so they was taking money. They was creating opportunities for themselves. And he wanted to turn it. He was like, bro, maybe we should put it on shirts. And me being the dude that I am, I saw that opportunity and was like, man, let me make a logo. So I tapped in with my boy Edgar Varela, and he provided us a logo, and that just became it, man, right there. That was it clicked for both of us, my brother and myself, and also his family, his brother, our other teammate, Chris Hubbard. Man, we just all connected, and we was like, bro, we can really do this. And our first drop, man, we sold out, I want to say in maybe 48 hours. And from there, we was like, okay, that was kind of our sign. Okay, we put in the time, put in the work. Let's keep doing it. We kept allowing it to expand. And one thing I can say about it is I'm pretty hands on with more of the marketing and stuff. But Verdell, man, is definitely a dude that, you know what I'm saying, if you wanted to be in business with a dude, you're talking about a workhorse, a dude that's gonna learn everything. You know what I'm saying? He almost inspires me continuously, dude, to learn how to build his own website, learn how to build his own marketing scheme. And then we went from there, man. And now we're trying to continuously revamp and create new ways to take money out to the people and make sure that, you know what I'm saying, they understand that it don't have nothing to do with criminality, but definitely motivation. So that's the big thing, man. Take money to logo, man. That's the clothing, man.
Oh yeah, man. And we'll make sure we tag them and everything. And hey, man, I've seen you've been pushing that. I mean, like you said, you and your team. That's that's huge too. That's another topic that we'll just touch real quick is how important is it to have a solid team? Not just like a team as in a football team, but like a team or your circle. You know what I mean? How important is that?
I think it's vital. I think you can't, it's hard to do something alone, especially when it comes to, I mean, really when it comes to anything, but you know what I'm saying? That business aspect, man, because people forget that you are the business, like yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have people around you that care about you first. And I think that was the more important thing is that all the dudes that work with us, we care about them before we care about the income or, you know what I'm saying, the revenue. It's about, hey, bro, how are you feeling? Because without them functioning properly, we can't run this business. And I think we all loved each other. We built that brotherhood before. So we knew that when somebody else was down or, hey, bro, I'm unable to do this today, or I got work today. And we realized we all in different phases of life. We all committed to taking more than we could sometimes and then handing it back off, and we would switch and then equal it back out. And it was plenty of times where dudes were doing more than others, and we never, brought it to each other in the sense to where it was like, okay, bro, I'm doing the most. I deserve this. It was always like, okay, bro, I showed it that, you know what I'm saying? Now it's your turn. We shared that wealth and we shared that love and that, that commitment. And I think it's vital, man. You're not gonna be able to exist in any space if the people that you're around on your team, they not right.
No, that's truth right there, man. That's facts. So let's lead into our next thing on and tell people about what you got going on with Convoy World.
Convoy World, man, is a marketing company, man, and a digital media company that I am currently still in the process of fully establishing. I got my LLC and everything. I'm building a website right now. I want it to be definitely an educational platform for the arts, for all artistry, whether you be a painter, whether you be a rapper, singer, songwriter. I want you to have a platform to where you can submit those things and not be necessarily, you know what I'm saying, judged for them, but fully be embraced. This is a home to where people can communicate. It's really a business tool is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be providing the walks of my rap career and basically my failures. I'm a broadcaster on there through Convoy World, my failures and my successes to show people and provide the education. This is what I learned. This is, it's a lot of gatekeeping in the music industry. It's a lot of information that don't nobody want to give out. I'm willing to give it out as much as I learn and provide people the platform to expand, rather be through clothing, whatever it is. And then it's going to be merchandise as well. So it's going to be retail, it's going to be exclusive drops and all of those things. But definitely like a more righteous world star hip hop, I would say.
I know. Hey, that's huge, man. You are gonna do a great thing with helping so many people get their message out, get their story out, and share their art. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, I know for sure you'll help them out.
Appreciate you, big bro.
And then so last little thing you got going on is these football camps. Can you let everybody know what's going on with that?
Man, I was able to in me working out this last couple of months. I met some great guys. DJ, one of my big bros, is a trainer at what is it called, Self-Made in Long Beach. He played football, and Marcus also played football. They're also both trainers. And me just being around those dudes and connecting with them and talking ball, they figured, man, that they wanted to do something for the community. I'm a man of the community. They, DJ's from Long Beach. I'm not sure where Marcus is from, but he's a man of the community himself. So we all wanted to team up and just provide something, that the kids can come to, man, and just enjoy it and develop their skill set and take the time out to have some fun. I think every camp a lot now is kind of like focused on who's already, a name, and it's all about cameras and you know what I'm saying, how they can get their own specific exposure and posting on the gram. Man, we here to help anybody who's willing to get some work, anybody who wants to get better. And we want to connect with the kids on a personal level and really help them expand, man. So it's a speed and agility camp, man, and we're gonna be hosting that I believe it's Cherry Park in Long Beach, man. So if y'all got any time, y'all come out there and really mess with us. We're gonna make sure to have some fun and develop some skill sets.
Yeah, everybody out there that is trying to get that work, and make sure you guys tap in with Casey and, continue to help everybody out there. But, it's about that time, Casey. We got to wrap this up. You're a busy guy. I know you got a lot going on, and I know you got, a lot to do today. So our conclusion, man, it's every week, it's the same thing, different things though, right? So the first part, I'm going to tell you 4 names, okay? Those 4 names, just the first word, or if it's a phrase, whatever. I don't want to, leave you out to just saying one thing. But I'm going to give you 4 names. I want you to tell me how you feel about those names. All right.
All right.
All right. The first name, Nipsey Hussle.
Wow. Cultural icon. Yeah.
Second one, Cam Newton.
Resilience and longevity.
Third one, Danny Hernandez.
Wow. That's a different one. That's my guy. A life changer.
And their last name, Kaymen Cureton.
Man. Wow. Hopefully soon to be a global leader.
I love it. All right. So second part to this conclusion, right? And I sent you 2 photos earlier. All right.
Okay.
And this, once again, you haven't looked at them.
Oh,
I didn't tell you what they were going to be. So I want you to just take a look at the first photo and tell me, what that means to you right there.
Wow. Yeah. Man, Uncle Tony, man. I apologize when I get emotional, man. That's my that was one of my best friends in the world, man. To be as connected as I was with him, I think a lot of people just see him as, oh man, your uncle, he was a baseball player. I was there, my uncle, playing Tetris, you know what I'm saying? Sitting on his lap and playing Xbox with him and having the dude wake me up at 6 a.m. before he went to work because I beat him in Madden at 7 years old and he doesn't like to lose. So he's, hey bro, get up. We're about to play the game. Like until he wins. And then as soon as I win, I ask for a rematch. He's like, nah, I got you. We'll come back tomorrow. And he's just, man, you talking about the fiercest competitor, a dude that had tips and tricks and focusing on the intricacies of building and being an athlete and being a father. And I watched him raise my cousins. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people I think that are professional athletes, they're not as present, just because of their job. My uncle was always there for everybody. And that's why, I got him tattooed on my arm and he's always living with me in spirit. I have conversations with him quite often. I just love him, man. I still feel like he's here with me. I still feel like he is here guiding me and our family as well. So definitely a big thing.
And salute to Unc right there, rest in peace. And then let's check this second photo out.
Man, mom and pops. Mom and pops, man. I think that, man, my dad, a lot of coming from the community that, what I'm saying, we come from, fathers aren't really present, you know what I'm saying? Or, sometimes they're not given enough credit. My dad has always been there. And as I grow older, I see how it proved to be beneficial for me. Man, my dad is a leader, a man himself, talking about a dude that just at all times made sure that I was okay. You know what I'm saying? Made sure I was present, made sure that I was mentally prepared, physically prepared. Not only was he one of my best friends, but it was always a respect factor there because he always made sure that I understood as much as I love you, as much fun that we had together, I'm still your pops. So it was front page news, anything that was wrong with me. Constructive criticism was amazingly valued in my household. He was going to tell you what you did wrong and tell you what you did right. He was going to always make sure that you was getting better. My mom, believe it or not, is the hard-nosed one. My mom is the enforcer. My dad was nah, don't let him take the trash out at night. He's too little. My mom was, boy, go outside, take the trash out. Get out the house. Oh, yeah, nah. Or my dad would say, he can't go there, let him go. you got to venture out. You got to experience these things. You got to go see new people. You got to be amongst. My mom was really the one that pushed me. And me and her have a beautiful relationship because that's really like my heart. So I don't really have to say too much to my mom. She know me like the back of her head. She know when something wrong with me. She know when everything's going okay. She know when I'm lying. So my mom is just a beautiful soul, man. She's a leader as well, and she does so much for people. And her infectious energy is the reason why I think I love people the way that I do as well. So.
Yeah, shout out to moms and pops. They did a great job raising you. You're a great young man that's going to be, leading off. You are going to be a huge leader in whatever aspect of life that, life takes you into. But, the last little question I got for you is, who do you want to see on the Centerlocked Show? But the trick part is you got to help them come on.
Oh man, I think a great dude to have would either be Justin Rogers, who played at UTEP with Nick, or either Bertie O'Robbins or Martin Andrews from UCLA. Bertie O'Robbins from Nevada is another guy too. All of those guys, man, are guys that are all three of them part of the Take Money family. So, and they all doing their things in different aspects. Justin is out playing professional football in NFL Europe for Hamburg Sea Devils right now. Berdell is one of the top corners in the nation. Martin Andrews is one of the top D linemen at UCLA. So any of those dudes, man, would be a definite benefit. And I'll be sure to get those guys on here for you, big bro, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's continue this connection we got with Take Money and continue to build on it. So, KC, let people know where to find you on social media, and take this time to plug in anything you got going on, and I'll make sure people on my end at least tap in.
Definitely. Oh man, y'all can follow me on Instagram at Duke.562. That's my artist name. And then on Twitter it's at 1KAYMEN, 1Kaymen. So man, and then along with that, man, just y'all shop Take Money clothing, man. Be prepared for Convoy World. And then I got my mixtape coming out soon, man, at the end of July, Dear Cedar, man. So we're gonna shake the summer up real quick, man. So just be present, man. Y'all be on the lookout. And shout out to man, Centerlocked Show. Y'all keep looking into the Centerlocked Show, man. Appreciate Big Bro for having us on and him, expanding his platform and doing what he does, man, because it's a great opportunity. I'm grateful to be on it. And anybody that is on it, man, it's gracious, man. So appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you, man, taking time out of your day or your whole, like you said, you taking off in a couple of days. So, I appreciate you spending some time with me. And at the end of the day, man, we're getting your story out. Make sure everybody tap in with Casey. I promise you, you're gonna continue to be. You're gonna really find yourself like in awe of my dude right here, man. He always got something going on, and that's it for today, guys. Appreciate you, KC, and make sure you guys tune in next week to the Centerlocked Show.
Sir.
Buena Park is in the building. Buena Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?
Who poppin'?